Hi. I'm about to get real for a minute because what I say needs to be heard. And I wish someone had said this to me, or I could find a video or any kind of comfort while I was going through this. So, the title of the video, you all know that I'm here to talk about Morgellons disease. I know it's something that people don't want to talk about because it's horrible and it doesn't seem real. I have been suffering with this now for over a year and a half. You couldn't tell looking at me today, but yes, this is a wig, and I have been living with lesions all over my face, and the most uncomfortable feeling inside of your body that something else is in there you cannot get rid of, that is attacking you all day, every day, for a long time. And when I first came down with this illness, I basically progressed fairly quickly. I lost all my hair before 6 months was over. I almost lost my family. I've still almost lost my home. I lost my job. I couldn't function. I was beyond broken. Not only did I suffer from this feeling like I had something crawling on me or in me at all times. I couldn't hardly sleep. I was uncomfortable and you couldn't see it. It's like invisible, except for all of the marks on your body, which people say are self-inflicted, right? They say you're pulling your hair out. And there's no way I would have pulled my hair out in the patches it came in. Yes, I ended up shaving my hair because it was falling out in the most ridiculous way. And losing all your hair as a woman is extremely hard and humbling and difficult to even have everyone you love around you tell you that you're delusional. So what I'm here today to tell you is that if you are suffering from this, is that you're not alone. And that I care and I hear you and I know how hard it is to just get up every day and be okay. Like, it's really hard just to even think about doing anything. It takes over your life completely. It's crippling. It is the most horrible thing I've ever experienced, and I've wanted to die more times than I would like to even admit. All of that being said, and as dark and dreary as that sounds, I'm about to make a little bit of light of it because as ridiculous as this is, as many doctors as I've been to, a specialist, tests I've had done, MRIs on my brain, there's no answers, right? They don't know what's wrong with you other than you must be doing this to yourself because they cannot see it. I've always been so in tune with my body, and I feel like I can feel like a medicine. If I take it, I instantly feel what it's doing inside of every fiber of my being. I also am extremely empathic. I care deeply about others and, animals and the world. And, we live in a place that isn't really conducive to that these days. People aren't as kind, and the world is not always a good place, unfortunately. But this illness has shown me the lack of caring and compassion that we actually have for one another on another level, that it's broken me. It's broke my heart, my mind, my body. And I am finally, after a year and a half, I'm recovering. I have hardly any lesions. I am still waiting for my eyebrows to come back. And if you wait till the end of the video, I'll do the reveal and I'll show you what it looks like without the wig. Some days I couldn't wear a wig. Some days it was so itchy and so uncomfortable I couldn't even get it near my skin, or the whole wig would just tangle up within a half hour, which doesn't seem humanly possible, right? I mean, even just to do your chores around the house, to do your dishes, to sweep the floor, it's like a particle of dust would touch me and I could feel it through my shoe and through my sock. Logically, that makes no sense. It's funny because this disease is like it's like living in a sci-fi horror movie, right? It's like you never know what's going to be coming out of your body or touching your body or what is even going on, right? And you look to the ones around you for validation because that's what humans do. We need others to look at and help us understand what's happening in our reality, especially when it doesn't make sense. But when we have everyone around us telling us that we're crazy, then, and we actually know we're not. And that's the thing. It's like knowing in my heart that like this was really happening, but yet it doesn't seem like it could be real. I mean, there was a period of time where I actually told myself that maybe I am crazy. I actually hoped that I was crazy because I needed something. I needed to know that there was a way out of this. And I wish that was the answer because it's not. And I've gone through so many different theories. I've researched ridiculous amounts of hours on the internet just trying to find anything. And, I've gone from thinking it's a bacteria to a fungus to both to nanotechnology to, the chemical fog the other day, like a black mold toxicity. I mean, maybe it's none of those things, or maybe it's all those things. I mean, we don't actually know. One thing I can say for sure is the doctors definitely don't know. The one thing and through this illness that has saved me is that I actually trust myself enough to follow through with the things I do to my body that everyone tells me, don't touch it, don't do anything. But I knew my body was saying, no, you need to remove this, you need to touch this. And I did. And sometimes it would look terrible, like I had mutilated myself, but I knew that these things were exiting and they needed to get out of my body. So it's kind of a catch-22 if you really struggle with the people in your life because they care about you and they are acting out of care, although it doesn't always come across that way. I will say what I have found about this disease, right? Because is that it feels sentient. And I know that sounds crazy, but it feels alive and it has consciousness. I have not sure exactly if it's what that means. I think fungus is conscious, right? Bacteria is conscious. Anything wants to survive, right? So it's going to do different things to in order to keep alive on your body. The other thing I want to say is that it's definitely spiritual. I don't know in what means that means to anyone, depending on what they believe in or who they believe in or how they practice. It's just, I do feel like it has shown me things that I wasn't really keen or aware to before, right? I also deeply study astrology, and I've always been into highly intuitive. And this happened to happen at my Neptune square, which is like a midlife crisis. Everybody has those around 40, right? This happened to happen around that time, which, if anybody knows about Neptune, Neptune is the planet of illusion and delusion. So it's anything that really you'll never get answers to. It's kind of like when the veil, the fog rolls in. So here I am, right, with very clearly suffering, very clearly have this illness and still no answers. And no matter how much I researched and no matter where I looked, I found very little information on the internet that was comforting. I did find a few YouTube channels. I'm so grateful for Facebook and Instagram and the groups I belong to and Reddit. It's literally saved my sanity knowing other people were going through the same thing because I wouldn't have even believed someone else if they told me the things that have happened to me, that I've seen, that have actually physically happened in my body. If someone told me that had happened to them, I wouldn't believe it. There's no way. And so I understand. I understand people's doubt. I do. It's human nature, right? But I just want to tell anyone that is watching this video right now that it is happening and it is very, very real. And I have a theory. I have so many theories, actually. It's kind of funny. But, and it changes often, I just will say that I do feel that somehow this is a frequency or a technology or a bacteria, virus, environmental, whatever, but it's in our realm of consciousness, and it is coming, and it's coming for everybody. Okay. And I actually am not sure if there are a lot of people that have had it and just didn't know that was happening to them, and they've actually been potentially taken over by it.